Mute. I don't know if my mic's on mute. Hopefully it's not now. If you can hear me, say hello. Um, yeah, it was a bad Monday. It was a very, very bad Monday. We had to take a lot of strays yesterday, didn't we? We had to take a lot of shit. And but it's done. It's done and dusted. And we can nearly start looking forwards to another game. Another game is upon us, and it is a quarterfinal of the Champions League. Quarterfinal of the Champions League coming up. And you have to say, what better way to get over a terrible defeat than with another game? Another important game as well. A nice big test for Arsenal to get them geared up for the game that we're all really thinking about. That huge game on Sunday against Manchester City at the Etihad. Anyway, before we get going, I'm Edwin Ash. This is the Big Arsenal Breakfast Show, and we are live every morning, weekdays, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. And we are live every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. And if you want to get involved, you can do at the socials. And we are on TikTok at Big Ass Breakfast, at Big Ass Breakfast on TikTok. And we are on Instagram at Big Ass Breakfast. And we are on X at Big Ass Brecky. And you can lizzle and subscrizzle. Please lizzle and subscrizzle if you want to support the show and get us all out into the Goonosphere, to the Gooniverse, so that other gunners can find us and join us and have a lovely old time. First of all, I should say good morning to Legoshi-kun, Legoshi-kun19. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Legoshi-kun says morning with loads of cups of coffee. I could do with about 20 of those, Legoshi. I could do with about 20 of those cups of coffee. That would be very, very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. And good morning to everyone else. If you're watching a little bit later on the YouTube, then please like and subscribe. Hit us up in the comments if you've got something on your mind, if you've got some thoughts, you've got some things that you want to say, then please do. And yeah, the socials are there. You know how to get in touch. Right. We also have the podcast. The podcast, if you've missed this, or you want it in your ears and not in your eyes, we've got the podcast that goes up about 20 minutes after each show. And yeah, we do that every day. Right, on today's show, we're going to do a little deep dive, a little deep dive, a big deep dive, a medium-sized deep dive into the bottle, nerve, and psychology narrative. It was the conversation that was taking place across all the podcasts, all the media pieces yesterday. Everyone's talking about the bottling, the nerve, what's gotten into the players' heads. Did Mikel Arteta help or hinder, and all that kind of stuff. So we will take a look at that. We've also got some Arsenal positivity. That's right. There's some Arsenal positivity. I said yesterday in one of my videos that basically we're seeing the green shoots of recovery amongst the Arsenal fan base. Maybe not amongst the players or the club. We have no idea. We won't know until tomorrow night. But we do have some Arsenal positivity, and we have your opinions as ever. Now, we normally do a match preview show. We are going to embody that in tomorrow's game day show. So a little bit of sporting preview, a little bit of chitter-chatter injury news, the Mikel Arteta presser, which will likely be today, I think. It should be, because there's a big game tomorrow. So we'll do a little bit of that tomorrow. But today, let's shake this Bournemouth stuff out of our system, and let's find ourselves a little bit of positivity and move forwards if you can be bothered. Before we do that, we say, good morning, Eddie. Good morning, G-Dog. Yeah, everyone say good morning to me. Before we carry on, guys, we say good morning, me. Good morning, G-Dog. Good morning, G-Dog. He says, morning, Eddie. Blinded by the sun this morning. Yes, nice, isn't it? I've actually got... Here at Bab's studio, if my face is all paled out and pasty white and weird, I've got some weird lighting coming through my windows. I've just opened the curtains a little bit in my windows here in the Bab's studio to let a bit of light in. I've done it too much, so much so I now look like a ghost on the screen. And the reason why? Because there's some lovely sunshine outside, G-Dog. You're right. There is some lovely sunshine outside. And it's looking good, I have to say. Doesn't it improve the mood? Doesn't it improve the mood? Has it improved your mood? G-Dog, has this improved your mood? Also, G-Dog, how did you get through yesterday? Hit us up in the chat. Let us know. What was it like? You said you were going to get it from your colleagues yesterday. Did they? Did they come for you? And also, how many of them are Man United fans? Because all of mine seem to be Man United fans. Loads of Man United and Liverpool fans here in London, which is weird. Really, really weird. Well, it's not weird. I'm used to it now, but they were everywhere yesterday. And I tell you what, Leeds United, 2 thumbs up from old Eddie. Well done, because now I've got a little bit of ammunition. I've got a little bit of ammunition. We have a newbie in the chat. We have a newbie in the chat. Welcome to Viru. Viru underscore 85 says, sack Arteta immediately. Continues saying, before this spins out of control further. Viru coming in strong first thing this morning. Thank you for joining us, by the way, Viru. Thank you for coming in and giving us your opinions. We appreciate that. Sack Arteta immediately. When you say immediately, do you mean right now? Before this spins out of control further. So you want to see Arteta sacked right now in the title running? Would you not want to wait until the end of the season? G-Dog says, no, they were fine. Bigger things happening in life, talking about his colleagues. G-Dog also asked Viru the same. Now, come on, at the end of the season, maybe, but now? Viru, stick with us. Let's hear your thoughts on that. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of people are thinking Arteta out. I'm hearing it, I'm seeing it, and I understand it. I totally understand it. But you got to say, we are doing this. I say we. The people that want Arteta out, right? Let's be honest. The people that want Arteta out, it's because they're feeling and seeing something that we have all felt and seen before, right? How many times have we gotten to this stage? How many times have we gotten to this stage of the season in a commanding lead? Not last year. Everyone will tell us that we bottled it last year. We were way out of the title race. We had a calamitous season. I'm not going to go over it again. I thought our transfer window was terrible. We had all the injuries. We were playing with Marino up front for half a season because we didn't invest properly in attack. Don't forget, we were well out of it. We didn't bottle last season, but you could argue the 2 years before we did. So let's say 3 of the 4 potential bottles if we bottle it this year, right? But Viru, and I totally understand, Viru's gone and said it would be embarrassing to not win the title now. Yeah, I totally understand that. It would be. This would be the hardest one, I think, given such a position. However, we've got to dig deep and remind ourselves that we are currently leading the Premier League. We are currently about to potentially make another Champions League semi-final for only the second time, for the first time ever, 2 seasons in a row. All right. If we make that semi-final, it'll be the first time ever that we've done it 2 seasons in a row. It is a level of Champions League success like can't even Arsene Wenger having. Can't remember Arsene Wenger having that. So while I'm here for the discussion for you, and thank you for your opinions, stick with us. We've got a lot to talk about today. While I appreciate it, I'm not on the same page yet. I think there's still life in the old dog yet. And I think that probably the main concern is the performance and the form and the mentality, which we will talk about now. I've just done a little thingy last night because everyone was talking about the mentality. So if you bear with me a moment, I'm just going to run through some bits of information about sports psychology that I was looking at that I found interesting. Now, I think you would all agree, I think all Arsenal fans would agree that the bring your dinner quote from Mikel Arteta, while we understand why he was doing it, didn't really help, did it? Probably hindered. Now, let's just go over that quote again. Pre-match, he said, it's an early kickoff, so get up early, have an early breakfast, bring your lunch, bring your dinner, and let's go all together for it because it has to be a big day. Now, instead of a feast, we got a punch in the face, as Mikel Arteta said. You can argue that by overhyping a home game against a 13th place team, Arteta inadvertently heightened the anxiety, I think. And when things didn't go well early on, that big day energy turned into groans quite quickly, right? Now, the other factor to this I want us to consider, which is not an excuse in any way, shape or form. It's not an excuse, but it is an element to the performance that we were so worried about, what we saw before us. And that was the fact that Bournemouth had 22 days rest and Arsenal players in and around that had about 3 days rest. Now, there was a good point made by Amy Lawrence on the Handbrake Off podcast yesterday that since we'd played Bournemouth in January at their place, we'd played 11 games more than they had. Now, so we bloody should be. If you want to fight on all fronts, you should be playing more games than Bournemouth. As I said, it's not an excuse, right? But they were well rested, they were fresh, and they were on it. We'd just come off a Champions League win away at Sporting. Players falling about the place, patching them up, sending them out, and so on and so forth. Now, even Arteta said after the match, he said, I don't want to pull those excuses, right? He said he just didn't see the level of enjoyment or fight required to change that course of a difficult game. And I would say, yeah, you can't lean into the tired excuse, but it definitely is an element. But I think one of the biggest elements now is going back to this bring your dinner quote, hyping up the game so much, like the club did. I don't think it works. Now, in sports psychology terms, there's a few terms that they use regularly. I'm just going to go through a couple of bits here and how I think it relates to us on Saturday and how it relates to us going forward. So, cognitive interference, right? Cognitive interference. This is like the brain static, is when your mind is so full of what if we lose? If the mind is so occupied with what if we lose, or the fans are angry, there's no room left for thought processes like, where is Noni? How do I get the ball forward? Which space do I move into? Am I tracking this guy, right? The brain really has a limited bandwidth. So on Saturday, the pressure of the title race probably took up 90% of the players' processing power, really overwhelmed them. This is my theory, according to some sports psychology terminology. And I would say that ramping up of the pressure, it's like trying to play FIFA while someone's screaming in your ear, right? You know the buttons, but the noise is stopping you from hitting them. Then we have a couple of other pieces in sports terms in sports psychology called challenge state versus threat state, right? The difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. It's the difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. Now, the challenge state, they call it, your heart pumps blood efficiently to your muscles. In a threat state, your body literally prepares for like a physical attack, in, biologically speaking. Your blood vessels constrict and you become stiff and rigid. Against Bournemouth, we weren't in the challenge state. We weren't, the blood wasn't flowing. We weren't efficient. We weren't doing things under a challenge. We were doing things as if it were a threat. We weren't the kings of that scenario. We were in the threat state. And that outcome, and the outcome versus the process, is what you saw. So, for example, the outcome is the trophy at the end of May. The process is the pass you're passing or you're making right now. So if you can't control the league title, well, it's not just if you can't, you cannot control the league title in the 14th minute against Bournemouth. You can only control your body position, your pass. And that's why when you focus on the outcome, oh my God, we've got to win the league, you get overwhelmed by the scale of the task, right? So the players were looking at the finish line, instead of the right pass, right? They were looking at the finish line, but you can't run a marathon if you're, thinking about the medal at the end. And then just lastly on this, last two things on the sports psychology thing, which I thought was interesting. There's this element called the quiet eye, right? This is like visual composer. This is the split second of stillness right before, say, a world-class striker strikes the ball. Under pressure, our eyes dart around frantically, scanning, right? Quiet eye is the ability to lock onto a target, to let the brain's motor system take over, right? Think of Dennis Bergkamp. This is why they called him the Iceman. And he talked about this. He always used to talk about in the key moments when he's like through on goal, he used to call it going cold. He'd say he would just go cold. And that's kind of the quiet eye. Not rushed. You're not rushed. You drop into that coldness, that quiet eye state, and then bosh. So basically on Saturday, we were all over the place. And then lastly, there's the whole arousal levels, right? Which is kind of like the internal volume control. If your arousal is too low, right? If you're not aroused enough, you're bored. If it's too high, you're hyped up into a frenzy, making mistakes. So rash tackles or overhitting crosses, all of the stuff that we saw on Saturday. And I would basically say that Arteta turned up the volume to 11 with that bring the dinner speech. The problem is you can't play delicate football when your heart is beating at 190 beats per minute, right? Even before the whistle blows. And the results that come from that is, rush passes, running into tackles, as I said, not playing the football that we know we can play. I mean, Arteta does say he doesn't coach them to be so cautious. But how many times have we seen him waving players up the pitch or telling them to calm down, take the game back? I mean, that was so evident in the Wolves game. Do you remember? He was going, "What are you guys doing? Calm down, pass the ball," and they'd lost it. It would appear to me that they'd lost it. So, really, just on that whole "bring your dinner" speech, right? We treated a 13th place Bournemouth like they were 1970s Brazil, and I hate to make the comparisons. I really do. I don't see Pep doing that. I do not see Pep doing that. I don't see City doing that. They relish this challenge. It's obvious that on Sunday against Chelsea, they were loving it, absolutely loving it. They are mentally in the zone. Now, I understand, just going to move my mic. Now, I understand why we are not mentally in that zone because there's so much riding on it for us. So much riding on it for us. It's first time in 22 years. And Arteta's trying to use the psychological aspect, big up the crowd, big up the players, get the focus going. I'm positing that is having the adverse effect. So yesterday I spoke on the show that really, I don't want to see social media hype, right? Not anything more than any other club. It's game day. Let's go, guys. Support the team. That's more than enough, right? Don't need to make a Bournemouth match a fucking do or die for the team. Because really, it just signified to the players, it's a scary game. It's a trap game. Bournemouth played with the freedom of a team with nothing to lose. Arsenal played like they had everything to fear. And let's not forget, I think we'd beaten them 11 times in the last 14 meetings. So treating this as a big day changed the psychological dynamic of a fixture that Arsenal normally dominate, really. I know Bournemouth are a tricky team. We normally beat them. And then with that, I'll just round this off now, guys, then we'll come back to the chat. But even with that, I see fans losing their minds when a pass doesn't come off, right? I'm talking about players shanking. I'm not talking about players shanking simple passes, which happened a lot. I'm talking about, I mean, I've seen fans online showing clips of where players are trying the difficult pass and it doesn't come off. And they're like, this drove me fucking mad. This was a disaster. What the hell were they thinking there? Like when they're trying to play the tricky through ball. That definitely isn't helping. I understand there was a breakaway, an example when Kai had all the freedom of the midfield and Martinelli made him run down the left. And Kai had a simple ball out to the left and he played it far too inside. It was a really easy pass and he completely fluffed it. That I understand. But there's another clip going around where Deck's trying to get out and he bends this lovely cross around the corner out towards Noni to get the game going and it gets intercepted. But it was the riskier pass. And we want the players to play those passes. We want the players to play those passes. And we want to trust them that when they fail on that pass, which is going to happen, when that fails, we trust them to go, get back in, get the shape, handle the transition. Handle that transition. We can do it. We've got good enough players to do it. I know Mikel hates the transitions. He hates the turnovers. But we've got to trust the team that they can handle those. Because if we don't, they will not make the high risk, high reward passes. It is as simple as that. And I feel like we're stuck in this cycle of fear. The fear of the mistake, right? The fear of the mistake is not allowing us to have the bravery. And do you know what? What I hope the team gets in the next few days, builds the confidence in Sporting, leading up to the Etihad. What I want them to have is, I hope they go, fuck it. Let's die trying. That's what I hope they do. I hope they go, fuck it. Let's die trying. Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to jump back into the chat. Let's have a little look. Well, we're going to do the big ass opinion segue first.
Apart from the two penalties you gave away,
Bring your chat up in the chat.
way too dry.
All right, let's have a little looky, shall we? Let's start with a little bit of chat, shall we? Let's start with a little bit of chat. So G-Dog jumped in and said, City was so close a few times. Liverpool had second a few times before they won it. The competition in this league is hard. It'll be devastating, but embarrassing. No, that's just childish. Are we talking about? Oh, I see. Sorry. Yeah. He's referring to Viru. He's saying it'll be devastating, but embarrassing. No, that's just childish. Okay. Okay. Strong stuff. Strong stuff, G-Dog. Strongy stuff. I would personally be a little bit embarrassed, G-Dog. I think I'd be... Is embarrassed the right word, Viru? I'm not sure if embarrassed is the right word for me. I think I'd just be... I mean, we'd just be crushed, won't we? I mean, to do it all over again after, and each fucking season takes so long to get to this point, and you're like, you got to start it again. And even if we do well next season, even if we get the right players and we're, unless we are 15 points clear come March, right? We're going to be sat there going, yeah, we're playing well now. Yeah, we're playing well now. We are playing well now. We're playing well now. Then what? Yeah, I'm not so sure. Thank you, G-Dog. G-Dog also went on to say, this bring your dinner crap is embarrassing. Yeah, that certainly is. All right. Message to the club. I hope you've heard it. Fans online have said, enough of that. It's business time. Let's get serious. Right. Thank you, G-Dog. Thank you, Viru, for joining us. Really appreciate it. I hope you're still sticking around. Let's have a look at what's been going on across the interwebs over the last day. Wellbeast at Wellbeast says, project this on the big screen in the training ground. And it's the picture of that guy with the bottle, which I'm not sure if you saw this. You know, Rory Talks Ball. Do you guys know Rory Talks Ball? I can't remember his surname, Rory. He did a thing on Instagram. I didn't have time to rip it and put it here. Also, I don't really like ripping other people's stuff, but I like Rory. He has a lot of good stuff to say. Big thumbs up to Rory, right? Rory Talks Ball had said he thought this guy was a plant, because they did an interview with him, and this guy I'm putting my tin foil hat on now. The guy said he got given this Arsenal bottle 2 years ago when he saw a game at the Etihad by the Arsenal staff because he was dying of thirst or something, and he gave him this bottle, and he just happened to keep it, and then he happened to take it to Chelsea, and then this is 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago he had this bottle from, and then he happened to take it to Chelsea, and then Sky Sports happened to pick him out in the crowd. Rory posits that this is an industry plant, and if it was, well done, Sky. You've really pissed us all off. You've really, really pissed us all off. What else? MX Von MX at MX Von MX says, we're going to beat City. We're gonna beat City, he says. We won't have Kepa in goal. The squad are pissed off. City are, I think he means, reveling in their recent wins and will take us lightly, especially after seeing us play Bournemouth. I predict a 3-1 win. MX Von MX. Inject that into my veins. Get it in there. Strong stuff. Cook it up and stick it straight in my veins. Okay, a few others. Kenzie, big fan of Kenzie on Twitter. At McHybrid says, I was wondering why there aren't many Arteta outposts today. Then I realized it's Monday. Schools are open. Zing. Shola of Arsenal says, just saying, if you can't be there during the storm, don't be there when the sun shines. Damn right, Shola. Salute to you. Tim Stillman of the Arsenal Vision and Arseblog Parishes says, the weird thing about Sunday is that on the face of it, all the pressure should be on City. They need to win, probably more than Arsenal do, and certainly can't lose. They finished third last season and haven't meaningfully challenged in Europe since winning the Champions League in 2023. Yet all the focus will be on Arsenal, brackets, and it makes sense too. Yeah, there has been not a lot of focus on City. It's all on Arsenal, basically, because we haven't won it yet. I tell you now, this is the worst thing, isn't it? As Rory McIlroy said about the Masters, winning the first one is the hardest. Which is why this feels like now or never, doesn't it? It's why it feels like now or never. It shouldn't be that way, but that's why it feels like it. Because if we don't get this one done, it's like how... And I know a lot of fans feel the same way. If we do get this one done, then we might get another few on top of that because it'll be in the system, in the player's muscle memory. They'll know how to do it. Bielcista at Pedro... Sorry, I'm leaning because I can't even see my own writing. 1 second. At Pedro Caleno says, this team has 100% my full support from now until the end of the season. No questions asked. They have bring us back to life. They've brought us back to life. And now they need our support to get over the line and win us our deserved title after 22 years. What are you going to do? I tell you, Bielcista, I'm going to support the team. It's going to be a positivity drive from now all the way to the end of the season. Unless, of course, we lose 3 games in a row, which case I'll probably lose my shit and then emigrate to another country. So, Number 4, Dougie Critchley, I think, who works for Sky. He says, points won last 5 league games. Arsenal 12, Man City 11. Points won last 10 league games. Arsenal 20, Man City 21. Points won last 20 league games. Arsenal 41, Man City 42. And then Arsenal aren't playing particularly well right now, but the level of panic online is crazy to me. I mean, it's online, Dougie. What do you expect? And it is also, the online verse is the place to vent our shit, isn't it? Look at what happens after a game. Everyone takes straight to Twitter. They're either, we're going to win it all, or they're either, we're the fucking shittest team in the world. And it just simmers down. It does simmer down. Even some of the worst accounts I've seen online are just simmering down a little bit now. And we are going to say, we're going to break and say, good morning to, oh, where's my live chat gone? Here it is. We're saying good morning to Darkside Gunner, at Darkside Gunner, up on the screen there. Big up, mate. Call this crap out. Let's call it out together, my friend. Let's call it out together. Which crap are you referring to? You're talking about the bring your dinner crap, or are you talking about the negativity from the fans? Because there's a lot of crap flying around, isn't there, Darkside Gunner? There is a lot. I mean, I feel like these days we're covered in shit. Covered in it. Let us know. Clarify. I'll call it out, mate. Bring this crap to me. Let's call it out together. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Thank you so much. I think first time appearance. Darkside Gunner says both. He says both. Yeah, the bring your dinner shit. If you missed it, Darkside Gunner, we were talking about that. The bring your dinner shit. I think the overwhelming feeling is that essentially Arteta hyped a game that didn't need to be hyped. That is, if you missed that bit at the beginning, that's what we were talking about. The club needs to change tact on that. We think I get why he does it. Come on, get the spirits up, get the fans up. You know, stop the groans, get everything going. Let's not big these up anymore. Let's not do it. We're good enough to do it on muscle memory alone. Darkside Gunner, thank you for joining us. Anything else on your mind, let us know. We will quote you on the air right now. I think I've wrapped up the main points of the Big Us Opinions. We'll go to Big Us Opinions. Instant Calmer.
Instant Calmer take of the day.
That's right. It's the Instant Calmer take of the day. This is going to be a difficult one today to read. The Instant Calmer, I've even covered up the little, look at that. There's the graphic there for the Instant Calmer. Calmer spelled C-A-L-M-A. It's a pun on karma and staying calm. The Instant Calmer take of the day is normally one that brings down the temperature or levels us off a little bit if we're getting too excited and heading over our skis, right? I just thought this was good. It's from Gillen Balagay. And I'm going to read it out, and I've got it here in my notes, and it's all over the place, but I'm going to try and read this out as fluidly as possible. At Darkside Gunner says, subbed. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Really, really appreciate that. We've only been going for just over a month now. It's a new channel. We're trying to reach more gunners. We're live every day, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. and Saturdays and Sundays, 9 a.m. So if you like us, please join us. You're always welcome, Darkside Gunner. Right, I'm going to read this little tweet out from Gillen Balagay, which I thought was very, very calming. He said, 2 things bother me about the narrative building around Arsenal. First, we're told constantly that the Premier League is the most competitive league in the world. Fine. So what does it mean to be consistently fighting for the title in that environment? You can't celebrate the league's brutal competitiveness and then dismiss sustained title challenges as not good enough. Pick one. Second, and in my opinion, this matters more. Failure in elite sport is not losing. Luis Enrique said it. Many others have said versions of it. Failure is not trying again. It's accepting the ceiling. It's going through the motions. Arteta has never done that. Every setback has been fuel for the next attempt. The problem is social media runs on binary outcomes, win or fail, hero or fraud. No room for nuance, no room for the manager who rebuilt a club into genuine title contenders and is still hungry for more. Simeone has been at Atletico for over a decade, 2 league titles, 2 Champions League finals, still no European Cup. Nobody serious calls that failure. They call it one of the great managerial tenures in modern football. And I'm convinced that given 14 years like Simeone, Mikel will win more league titles than him. Arteta may or may not win the league this year. He may not lift the Champions League this year or next. But as long as he keeps pushing, keeps trying, keeps competing at this level, failure isn't what this is. Find another name for it. He then goes on to ruin the piece by saying, by the way, if City wins the league, that achievement would, of course, be enormous. Boo. No, so it's a great point. It really, really is a great point. Now, I understand the people that want Arteta out. I'm not there yet. I can't say I'm there yet. I just feel like Gillan Balagay's highlighted here, he's rebuilt this club and made us title contenders again. That first, what are we talking, 4 years was the rebuild. And you can argue the last 2 or 3 has been the areas where we should or could have won the league, right? So I'm not counting that first 3 to 4 years. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Look what's happening at Man United to try and get back to the top. It isn't easy. I've said this before. No disrespect to Everton. No disrespect to Everton. There was a time when I was looking at Arsenal Football Club apathetically and thinking, I think we're the next Everton. That's what I think we are. I don't think we are ever going to contend again. We are nowhere near Liverpool. We are nowhere near Manchester City. I thought we were just going to float around between 8th to maybe 4th for decades. I thought we were done. I really did. So I've got to give it to Arteta and the board for putting us back in the conversation. Is it painful missing out? Yeah, bloody hell it is. Will there be an inquest if he doesn't win it this year? Will there be an inquest if he doesn't win it this year? Yeah, and there should be. There absolutely should be the inquest, of course, and I'm here for it. Right now, I don't know, but what I do know is, come on, we still are top of the league. Slap. We're still in the Champions League. Slap. We can get better. Now, Darkside Gunner, the floor is yours before I wrap up. Let's see what you've had to say, my friend. He says, for me, bro, Arteta is overrated. He doesn't learn and he does the same thing over and over. He says, I'm bored of seeing this dross and cowardice. Yeah, okay. Okay, what are we learning from this? Right, my hunch is, it's just a hunch. And I hear that, Darkside, I hear that a lot. I do. And aren't we all bored of that dross? Let's be honest. No one's enjoying the football. I'm not enjoying that football. No way. Not at all. My theory is, and this is the Patrice Evra next season thing, Netflix FC. My theory is we really didn't do well in the attacking signings this season. Noni Madueke could go on to be a great winger. He's still only 23, 24. Okay, he could peak. We could see something new. The Gyökeres thing, I think, I like Gyökeres, but he is what he is, right? That's his level. I don't think it was a fantastic signing, but I also don't think there were many brilliant strikers available. If we were to go and do, hypothetically, a Kvaratskhelia and another, or a Julian Alvarez and another, and we shift some players on this season, and we get some really exciting attacking talent in, I do wonder if that will change the shape of the team more so than Arteta would even imagine. Don't forget, we did have that season, 22-23. Our attacking play was outstanding. Let's not forget that 2 seasons ago, we were emptying stadiums everywhere we went. When we won those 16 out of 18 games, drawing only to City and then losing at Aston Villa, we were beating teams 4-5, 6-0. It is in the team. It's somewhere in Arteta. It is somewhere in Arteta. So, last one, Darkside Goon, who's put a challenging one for me. Appreciate that. He says, let me ask you this. What forwards has Arteta improved? The answer to that is Bukayo Saka. Other than that, not so sure. Really not so sure. I just don't think his attacking talent ID is the best. He's great at defenders. He's great at midfielders. I mean, Mourinho, what a signing that turned out to be, I think. We all thought, oh, what's this guy? He's a bit plain. I agree. But we've got Andrea Berterim. He deserves a second season, maybe. If we get that attacking ID right this time, maybe there's something can happen. But Darkside Gunner, I appreciate that. I appreciate a challenging question. And I'm going to have to say good day to all of you because I've got to head off into the office. That is kind of it for today. Don't forget, we are here every day. We are here Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. and Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. If you've missed out on some of this, you can watch again on YouTube or you can get the podcast. Will be uploaded in about 15, 20 minutes time. Thanks for getting involved. Darkside Gunner, please come again. You are welcome. G-Dog, as ever, Viru_85. Thank you for your first time appearance. We appreciate you all as ever. You can get in contact on the socials if you want. Lizzle and Subscrizzle, my friends. Look, it's been a difficult day, but we are going to look at sporting tomorrow. We've got Mikel Arteta's presser. We've got everything else coming up. Go and attack that Tuesday. Be bold, be brave, be brilliant. Get your ass in gear. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.